Hi guys, welcome back to the Forgetful Scholar and let's chat about books. This week, 2 books. So the first book I'm going to talk about is a cozy mystery, and then we're going to talk about a straight contemporary romance. So, if you've been to this channel, you know how I feel about those. So let's see. Let's try. Okay, so the first one, the cozy mystery, is Deadly Divas, Maid Ivy Cozy Mystery Book 2 by Hazel Smith. And the main character is Ivy Stone. Now she, in the last book, she moved from America to England where she works at this fancy hotel as a maid. And a murder happened and she helped solve it. So that happens again. Okay, we're done. No, I'm just kidding. This is a continuation. So, she's doing her thing, being a maid. I do like that in the first book and the second book, her character is still the same. There hasn't been any crazy, hullabaloos. She's a consistent character, which I appreciate. I like the mystery. I think the ending was fun. I like the friendship between the 3, now 4 girls. They have another friend. And if you read the last book, she's friends with Moira, who works in the kitchen. Elise, who is front desk, works at the front desk, who's French and works at the front desk. And they're all really sweet. Their friendship's really adorable. And now they met Kate, who is from the north of England, and she works in the maintenance. Their friendships are sweet. I really did like it. I like the mystery. This is 3 stars. I don't know why it didn't capture me like the last book. We do find out Moira's secret past, which isn't all that secret because she did kind of jokingly talk about it in the first book, right? So in this book, she's doing her maid thing, and she ends up delivering dinner to this birthday party. And this birthday party is for an 80-year-old woman who's in a chair. And this woman has 2 nieces. One is Aspen, who is a Hollywood starlet and a huge bee. And Aspen's half-sister, Aisling, who lives in London, went to school in England, lives in England, right? So, we're introduced to Aspen pretty early on because she was bothering the boss, who totally has a crush on Ivy, and Ivy has no idea. That she didn't want her ex-husband, Jack or Jackson, being at the hotel. Now, we figure out Aspen's character pretty early on because she says she has an restraining order against him, but it's the other way around. He has a restraining order against her. She attacked him during their court, divorce proceedings, things like that, right? So we already know that Aspen's a liar and kind of unstable. So she gets to the party, she breaks in because she wasn't invited, because they were doing an Agatha Christie kind of birthday theme because the aunt used to run a mystery theater. And Jack, who still has a good relationship with his ex-sister-in-law, and Q the dog scratching at the carpet, and his, ex-aunt-in-law, is playing one of the roles to, surprise her. It was very sweet. So someone gave Aspen the tip-off that he was going to be there. She shows up. She gets murdered, right? Ivy's there to witness it all, but the lights went out, and it makes no sense because Jack had a prop gun that shot twice, where Aspen was shot 3 times. So I like that the head investigator, he's not dismissive. The cop, he's not dismissive of Ivy. He's you helped a lot in last investigation. If you have any insight, please let me know. I like that there's not an antagonistic relationship there because that happens a lot in cozy mysteries, especially cozy mystery shows, that, you get a little bored of it. So I like the difference. I do. The ending had a lot of fun twists, but there was enough clues. If you go back, you could figure out the killer too if you go back. You know what I mean? It was laid out well. I continue to enjoy Ivy's oblivious to her boss totally crushing on her. Again, we find out Moira's past. I will say in the third act of the book, things got weirdly religious for a moment. Now, throughout these books, Ivy's like, oh, God, give me strength, things like that, you know, which I don't mind. But, like, she got a little preachy to Moira at the end, and I'm like, not my favorite at all. So we'll see. So 3 stars. I enjoyed myself. Was I wowed like the first book? No, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll see what's going on with that one. So the second book, the straight contemporary suspenseful romance Enemies to Lovers. So let me preface. Enemies to Lovers and Grumpy to Sunshine are my 2 favorite romance tropes. So I am hella picky. Hella picky. And if you've seen the other videos, you know I do not have good luck with contemporary straight romances. For some reason, contemporary queer romances, I enjoy a lot. Not for some reason. I enjoy that a lot. But the straight ones always tend to be very cheesy, very hallmarky. Like, I'm rolling my eyes. I'm like, what am I, 12? This is stupid. You know, kind of thing. I know. I'm a picky bitch. That's why I have this channel, okay? So I could scream into the void about it. So this was the 6-Night Truce by Hannah Sheild, West Oak Heroes series, book 1. Now, again, with straight contemporary romances, they're either super cheesy or it feels like women's fiction, right? Now, I will say, because it's Jane, the main female, and then Sean, the main hero. Now, see, Sean, he wasn't like 3 gold medalists perfect. No, he made mistakes. And he realized his mistakes, owned up to them, and then tried not to repeat them. I was like, oh, like a real person. That's great. Same with Jane. I was like, oh, look at this. These are real people. That's nice. Okay, tick 1 in that box. Now, when I say this with my full chest, understand, I freaking loved this book. I know. I was shocked too. I was like, what's going on? I even went so far as to take my temperature to make sure I wasn't having a fever. Like, that's how I was like, what is happening? I had a blast with this book. Now, this is romance suspense, right? So, Jane, she is the state's top defense attorney. So already I kind of knew, like, her work persona, right? Because in such a high, like, successful career, in such a boys club, you gotta have, like, balls of brass. Like, I already knew who she was gonna be when she entered the courtroom, right? And he just moved to West Oaks, like, a couple months ago, is a homicide detective. So I was like, oh, that makes total sense, because, like, I could see how that could start to feel personal, right? Because she's a defense attorney, he's a detective, you know, she probably got off people that he worked hard to prove were guilty, things like that. And I was so happy that, like, the enemies to lovers aspect of this, I understood. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I can understand anybody kind of getting, not territorial, but, like, you know, like, sports kind of mind. Like, oh, she's on the other team, and she keeps letting these bad guys get away. And meanwhile, it's like, she's doing her job as part of the whole judicial system, which is very important to our judicial system. And everybody deserves representation, you know? So, I got it. You know what I mean? And he just moved to West Oaks a couple months ago. I don't think it really stated, or I didn't pay attention because it wasn't important. He's a single dad to an 18-month-old Henry, who is very cute, but also I like the writing of this because he wasn't angelic. He was a high energy 18-year-old little toddler getting into messes. And I was like, okay, yeah, because it's not like a fairy tale version of a kid. He was a little troublemaker, but he was very cute. His mom moved from Texas, where he's from, to, I think they're in Southern California, to help raise Henry, because I said he's a single dad. So their first meeting, and later on she points this out to him, and he apologizes, realizes what an ass he was, and tries to make up for it. And we're in dual POV, by the way. When they first meet, he already heard of, like, Jane the snake, Jane this, like, cold-hearted, defense attorney, right? So and he was having a very bad, no good day, right? So when they met, he snapped at her, took her bad day off, like his bad day, he took it out on her. And she's like, excuse me, what? I don't think so. Okay, this is how you want to play it? All right, I'll play. And like, so she was antagonistic back every time they met because what? Fuck you. And like, I don't blame her because yeah, he was, I would have been like, fuck you too. You know what I mean? And Jane, and I love this part, I highlighted this part, a lot of other people highlighted this part too. Later in the book, she explains, well, I'm not just one person. No one is just one thing. I'm Jane the Panther at work, but I'm, I'm Janie the person everywhere else, right? And she has friends in the police department. She has friends in the DA's office. It doesn't seem like she takes the job on a personal level to that extent. She doesn't isolate herself like them against me and me against them. No, she is an avid defender of her clients, but she doesn't get into like the personal realm like Sean seemed to. And that was his problem. Sean took it all very personally. And he equated his ex is the same as Jane. Which I get it. I understand from personal experience when you have a bad ex, you kind of do that. But that's like work you gotta do on yourself, bro. Okay? So the romance part, I freaking loved it. I love these two. It was so cute. I freaking loved it. And again, when it's a good enemies to lovers, that's my favorite. I eat that shit up. Oh, I loved it. The suspense part. I will say there is her client, there's a shootout in the courthouse, and her client gets killed. She doesn't think it's an accident. Threats to her and Sean's life happen. So he's like, yeah, okay. So they're kind of forced together in protective custody, and then they decide to investigate on their own because, she thinks it's a conspiracy. And he's like, you know what? I think you're right. It is a conspiracy because there are clues to lead to that, right? So they, and they fall in love that way. It's really, really cute. The suspense was fun. And I'm giving this a 4, but it's like a 4.8, right? Because the suspense was a lot of fun and got me going. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? Blah, blah, blah. And then it would cut off, right? Pretty abruptly. And then it would get into the romance part of it. Now I got it. I understood. The author wanted ups and downs. Totally. I know. I get that. Just for my own, nitpicky personal preference, that wasn't my favorite. But, again, it's like a 4.8. I freaking love this book. And epilogue. Now, you guys know I have issues with epilogues that tell, not show. This told, not showed. And I think that part of it could have been a paragraph, right? Because the rest of the epilogue was this really cute moment with Henry and Sean doing something sweet for Jane, and it was so freaking adorable. I squealed a little. I enjoyed myself very much. It was so cute, and I was like, oh, this is cute. The rest of this crap could have been one paragraph, then we could have gone on to the cuteness. Like, what? I don't want to give too much away, but the twists and turns of the suspense was a lot of fun. The villain, I enjoyed who the villain ended up being. I like that every time Sean kind of got himself in a trap, Jane kind of saved his butt, and I like that. I'm sorry, I did. Because, because he trusted the wrong people. Let's put it that way, because I don't want to spoil it, right? He trusted some of the wrong people, and he got into tough situations, and he was being the big alpha, what she called, alpha a-hole, I think, and cut her out of those situations, and then she ended up circumventing him and saving his ass until he learned, oh yeah, I shouldn't cut her out because she's awesome. I should actually listen to what she's saying, even though my instincts are to protect her. We're in this together. See what I say about growth? And he wasn't perfect. And I like that. I like when the characters aren't perfect, because perfect is boring. Perfect is boring. Get out of here. Perfect, go. Boring. Ugh, can't deal with it. Okay. Now the mom, I'm jumping all over the place. The mom is obsessed with Navy SEAL romances, right? And I thought it was just a cute joke in the book, right? A little poking fun at the romance community. I thought it was, I didn't take offense. I thought it was fun too. And I'm like, yeah, because one point, Sean, who's friends with, Sean was like, why is it always Navy SEALs? I was like, yeah, why is it always Navy SEALs? I find that weird too, Sean. And then, because I like this book so much, I went into this author's back catalog, and guess what? She has romances where the main guy is a Navy SEAL or ex-Navy SEAL. So not only was she poking fun at the romance community, she was poking fun at herself. And I was like, I love that even more. In a world where authors are in review spaces and losing their goddamn minds, it's nice to find an author that has no problem poking fun at themselves, poking fun at the community, and just like, it just felt like everybody was in on the joke and we're all just like, a little funny, kind of make fun of ourselves, make fun of them. It was good. We're all in on the joke. It was cute. And I was like, good for you, Hannah Shields. Really good for you. So, because I like this book so much, am I going to devour her back catalog? Yes, I am. Are some of her books tropes that I absolutely fucking hate, like second chance romances? Yes, they are. Am I still gonna give them a try? Hell yes, I am. That's how good this book is. That's how much fun I had with this book. That I'm gonna go back and read a trope I avoid like the plague because I hate it so much. Because this was so much fun. Will I like it? I don't know. If I don't like it, okay. I'll keep reading their back catalog. But like, that's how much I enjoyed myself. You know what I mean? And that's a lot, considering I am not a fan of contemporary romance. Straight contemporary romance. I usually find it boring. I had so much fucking fun. I tried not to curse in this video. And again, of course, I couldn't in the last moment. Well, at least it was the end of the video, right? So that was my week. I'm excited that I found a new author. I can't wait to devour their back catalog. What a crazy week. Okay. I don't want to, but it's time for me to get back to the real world. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.